Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Lankering, and I'd like to help you out today with some things that people are really dealing with: anxiety, depression, and stress management. Now, what I'm going to present to you today is maybe a different approach from how our society normally looks at dealing with these types of conditions. Oftentimes, people have medications, different drugs, antidepressants, and so forth, which new research is showing that these drugs certainly actually can contribute more to depression and the conditions that people are taking these medications for. No question that these conditions are more widespread than they ever have been before. Another way is talk therapy. While certainly beneficial in some places, these two combinations, while people are seeking help, are still not really getting the results that they're looking for. So what I'd like to do today is to present to you a little different approach as to what we work with. If we think of our bodies just as far as energy beings, I call myself a bioenergetic chiropractor. So bio means life, energetic is energy. So it's all about life energy, and what I work with is addressing the different types of stressors that suppress our full expression of our life energy. So as we start doing this, we start looking at different aspects. One of my approaches is to look at the triangle of health. If you think of a triangle, we have physical or structural stress, biochemical nutritional stress, mental and emotional stress, and then electromagnetic radiation, toxins, and infections and allergies. So those are the different stressors we're dealing with. But three other major highways in the body really work with keeping the body in balance. And the first approach that we work with, or the first highway, deals with the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems. So the sympathetic and the parasympathetic are part of the autonomic or the automatic nervous system in the body. This deals with blood vessels, organs, and glands. And we don't have to think about how to make these work, but the brain works with this. But what it's divided into is the sympathetic, which deals with our fight or fight, flight, stress and survival mode, and then the parasympathetic, which deals with healing and rejuvenation and recovery, recuperation, detoxification, digestion, and anti-inflammation. And if we look at the body as far as a seesaw is concerned, when we're way out of balance, we have problems. And so we work with bringing these back to balance. I'm going to address what that is, because most people, if they're not dealing with high-grade inflammation or high-grade stress, are dealing with chronic low-grade stress. So we have to look at this sympathetic, parasympathetic highway and what we can do with that. The other highway that we start looking at is the gut-brain connection. And there's no question that with the gut and the brain that there is a strong connection, and having a healthy gut helps to have a healthy brain. Same way too, if we have stress in the brain, it affects what's happening in our gut. So we get a gut feeling or sick to our stomach and so forth. Because when the brain is out of balance, the body is out of balance. The other highway that we look at deals with what's called the HPA axis. And this is kind of a mind-body connection, if you will. We're looking at HPA. H is hypothalamus, P is pituitary in the brain, A are the adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands represent the hormonal or the endocrine, although they're closely tied in with the neurotransmitters, which are the brain chemicals. So all of this comes into play, and when they start getting out of balance due to the different stressors that I mentioned before with the triangle of health and those 6 major stressors, and then our highways get out of balance, we get all out of balance, and our energy gets out of balance. It's like putting the plugs in the outlet, and you put one plug too many and one plug too many. And when our system is compromised, we start blowing circuits out. So what we start looking at now is a whole different way to look at what we can do to help bring the body back to balance. That's why I'm focusing my work on brain-based wellness, because with all the stress going on, it's our brain that gets stuck kind of like deer in the headlights, where we can't do different things. How do we do this? Well, I have some different technologies that I work with. One of the main technologies that I work with is the brain tap here. And so the brain tap uses light and sound therapy with the eyes, and then also with the ears. The lights turn on, and the lights in the ears correlate, we get that going there, with acupuncture meridian points in the ears. And then in the eyes, the lights go in kind of like when you're looking at a fire. We kind of get mesmerized by that. So with the brain tap, there are over 800 programs that we can use, whether it be about brain fitness, whether it be about health and vitality, all these different programs to help to balance the brain out, because a lot of times people are stuck in delta and theta waves. Delta are sleep waves, theta are the light sleep, but these are the slow waves. And so you think of anxiety or depression that we're working with, and people are stuck in these low waves. They're not getting enough sleep. A lot of other stressors are happening. So the brain tap is a technology that creates neuroplastic changes in the brain. Working with this on a consistent basis, we'll start making those changes in the brain waves to get us to those healthy brain waves, to get us into alpha when we need to be, or beta at the appropriate times. So one of the ways that I work with is I use what's called a heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is a machine where we put sensors on the wrists and we can measure your heart rate and see the changes in what happens, because again there's a direct connection into the heart and the brain. So while it's not a direct measurement like an EEG of brain waves with different algorithms, we can look to see where brain waves are at. But we also look to see here what's going on as far as what kind of stress people are under, and we can measure their stress. This here with the different circles looks to see what's happening as far as that sympathetic, parasympathetic, and the backup system. And so a lot of people are stuck in the sympathetic mode. Many people are working on their backup system. Their main system is just worn out and tired, and they're just working on the backup system, which is here. This graph here starts looking at how blood vessels are affected, high blood pressure and so forth, and we start looking to see how the body can respond with that. Another here, we can see this graph here starts to look at how the brain is functioning and helps as far as hormonal balance. Remember we spoke about that HPA axis. This graph here we're looking at how what kind of energy resources the person has. And here we can see a graph to see how the brain is actually coordinating, kind of like the conductor in an orchestra, to see what's happening. We can look to see as far as brain waves and the different theta, delta, alpha, beta, and gamma waves, or high beta. We start looking at. We can see what levels in the spine. So these are all methods to start looking at. And again here, this is pretty interesting. We can measure where people's brains are at and how effectively and efficiently it's helping coordinate all the systems going on. So this is an objective measurement to measure stress in the body, to see what's going on and how we can help it. I also use a technology called neuroemotional technique, or NET. This deals with a muscle testing and acupuncture meridian points and emotions that are associated with those. And it works with resetting the circuits. Doesn't get rid of the emotions or the memories, but it helps to reset the circuits, because if we look at emotions as energy and energy patterns, if I ask you to show me what does happiness look like, or what is anger or fear or worry, those are all emotional patterns with energy to them. So this helps to reset the circuit with those energies. I also use a homeopathic remedy here that's called 911. This is a great homeopathic remedy that just helps to take you down from redlining. And so it doesn't make you drowsy or tired or stupid or anything like that. It just helps to calm the body down. So a great remedy. One of the big things that I find is using a hemp oil. I work with a company called Prime My Body. This is our product called Recept. The main thing, well, a few main things, is number one, the absorption. This absorption with the nanosonicated liposomal delivery system is a mouthful. But what that means is that this oil is absorbed very quickly. At 35 milliseconds, it starts affecting the brain. So it starts to bring the body back to balance. The hemp oil, and the reason why you hear hemp oil helps so much, because it's the endocannabinoid system supports the parasympathetic, reduces inflammation and so forth. So this is really an amazing product that, with Brain Tap, really supports the parasympathetic to come back to balance. When we're dealing with all these situations, the brain has a lot of stress going on, and so we need the proper brain food. So I have a product here called OptiBrain, concentrated whole foods, clean and organic, but to help to support the brain and give it the right nutrients that it needs to function. So also with the other supplements, I have other great digestive products, probiotics, digestive enzymes, also work with adrenal support and hormonal support. And it's also important to realize that the vitamin supplements are not giving the body any kind of hormones, but supporting the organs and glands so that they can function and optimize the production of the hormones in a healthy, balanced way. So when we start bringing all this together, we start to bring the body back in balance. And when the body's in balance and the brain are in balance, we're no longer feeling depressed or stressed. The stressors are not affecting us as much. So that's the name of the game. A whole different idea or approach or way of looking at what stress is, how our bodies are affected by it, and what's going on. These are all natural remedies, no side effects, and very effective. So any questions, you can go to my website at www.lankeringchiropractic.com, and you can also give my office a call. Give me a call here at 970-927-9900. Give me a call. Come in and try the brain tap. I'll give you a complimentary session. We can check and measure things out, see what's going on, and see if I can help you. If not, I'll try to refer you to someone who can help you. But I'm very excited with the results that I'm getting today, and it's exciting to help people. So thanks, and make it a great day.